Hi, good afternoon. Today we're going to have a really fun subject. We're going to be talking about ghosts. What are they? Where'd they come from? Where are they going? So I had one of the people on here ask me to do this. His name was Corey, and he's kind of excited about, let's get into this. So, it is kind of exciting looking at this. So here we go. Okay, so first off, are there such things as ghosts? Well, let's examine that. Yes, there really are a such thing as ghosts, but they're not the only thing that are getting labeled ghosts. I just think that a ghost, it's being labeled that because they're not in the physical body, but they're energy beings, just like we are if we didn't have this physical body. Those specific ones are beings who've chosen to stick around for whatever reason. They didn't go into the reincarnation system, and they've decided they want to be here for whatever reason. Usually when you pass and you don't need this shell anymore, they had this reincarnation system where it would get you fast and put you back in here. But looks like that's really slowing down also. So why would you want to stick around here if you don't even have a body anymore? Because you are mentally still attached to this simulation reality, and you simply aren't ready to let it go. And it's as simple as that. Because if that wasn't the case, you wouldn't stay. You'd have no reason to. I guess you could call it unresolved business. That you think is unresolved business. But in the end, it's not, because this is, after all, still a simulation. So let's look at some of the other things that we label ghosts. Well, since we can only see in our small perspective, there are beings who live in different dimensions, same space, but at a different frequency, and they are mistaken all the time for ghosts. They can bump things over in your house, and you could just catch a glimpse of them, and you'll think, oh, I just saw a ghost. No, they're just in a higher frequency, and they're not a ghost. But some part of you has recognized them, and that's quite interesting too. That goes into the supposed fairies and all that kind of genre, because they're in the higher dimension, and sometimes they're mistaken for ghosts or what have you. Then there are, since we're energy and we project energy around us, we can leave an energy signature behind, or even while we're still existing, we can still leave an energy signature. And that's when you take an item and you've really coveted it and you've loved it, and that item on a degree, it's energy, and it will hold your frequency. So when people pick things up and they get this feeling, that's because that person has left their energy in there. And also in areas where there was extreme, when you die quickly and you don't catch up to that, and in that moment you flash out of this existence, there is a burst of energy, especially like places that have like wars. And it'll be like on a loop of a repeat of that energy repeating. And over time, it could fade away. It could take a really long time to fade away, but that is also left too. It's an energy signature. Like all different kind of things. Like say you were walking on the road and you got hit by a car. Your energy signature could still be there, repeating that scenario over and over and over until it finally fades out. And it might take a long time. That's why you'll hear stories of women or men or whoever who jumped off of a bridge, or they got killed here, and you can see them still wandering around. It's not that you're actually seeing them, you're seeing that energy signature. And that's quite interesting too. That goes into, that's still a part of you, but it's an echo of you, of what was left. And things around, because it's energy, absorb that in and take on that persona. That's very fascinating too. I'm sure if you go to a lot of these dungeons and prisons and castles, you could have a lot of this going on, especially if somebody died horrifically or whatever. Yeah, that's also there. Then we have things that are called where you're still alive and somebody sees you here, 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 or here. Those are like energy signatures too, but they're of you because everything is happening in the here and the now, and you almost think you're seeing a ghost of yourself, like a doppelganger. And that's actually you traversing the now on a wider scale, and it's coming through to you because your perceptions have changed. That's always happening, but your perceptions don't allow you to see it. I'm sure the 3D mind finds it incredibly difficult. If you could see this all the time, you would have a hard time distinguishing between the moment you're in and the moments that existed before and after, even though there's no such thing. It's very hard for the 3D mind to wrap itself around. But every now and then, that stuff happens, and it's like, what's going on here? What's going on here? Very, very interesting. And then, of course, we have beings that come in and out of this simulation from the Archon box. Please go see video 5 and video 3 to find out what that means if you don't already know. And a lot of them they don't have a physical body. They're like orbs and things like this, and that's what they are. They're just energy beings on a different frequency. So if you went up higher in the frequency, they would become more solidified, like you and I are like here in this 3D. Well, actually, we're not in 3D anymore. We're in 4D. But I digress. So, yes, there are a plethora of different scenarios. There's just not one set answer for this. There really isn't. There are all kinds of things where if you look through mythology, you'll have banshees and, oh my, all different kind of things. You'll have Greek mythology is full of that stuff. I think almost all mythology is full of that stuff. But yeah, they all have an origin in something that usually happened or is happening at the time. And it all deals with the energy and the energy being. I do notice that more emotion that's put behind something leaves a bigger signature. So, yes. Oh, and this thing about being stuck. Oh, well, they didn't pass over. They're stuck. No, there's no such thing as being stuck. You do exactly what you want to do. You want to leave? You leave. You want to go forward or backward or whatever you want to do in this reality? You do it. Just because you have no longer needing this physical body doesn't mean you're stuck anywhere. You do what you want to do. So the beings that are here, they do exactly what they want to do. And you don't have to cross them over into the light, because you know what I say about the light. Don't go there. It's a big bug trap. Try and wake up, and then you decide what you want to do. So I guess we could talk more about these wonderful ghost stories, these different things. Let me think about some of the lore that I've heard before about some of this stuff. You can tell I'm very not scripted. I just talk off the top of my head from what I know, from what I can remember. I also do know that there are energy beings that are aliens, if you want to call them that, from the bigger earth or where have you, and they have the ability to go in and out of the different Ds, and they are sometimes mistaken for ghosts or devils or demons or what have you, but no, they're just energy beings too. There are all kinds of scenarios, but if you have any questions about a specific kind of an event, or if something in your house is driving you crazy and you want to know what's going on, you can ask. But just remember, if I answer, it's going to be public, so you have to decide if you want me to talk about it. So I guess that's all I'll talk about today, and everybody have a great day. Bye.